All of this stuff, where are you taking it? When Travis Barker and Kourtney Kardashian went public, it seemed like the whole pop culture apparatus paused to observe. Once seen as the most quiet and uninterested in Hollywood showmanship, the oldest Kardashian sister has unexpectedly found herself in the center of attention. Alongside her was a rock star who had tattoos on almost every part of his body. A male, her edgier demeanor seemed to be quite different from the refined, well-curated Kardashian way of life. Kravis seemed to be faded from the start. The unending red carpet kissing, the impetuous excursions, the unexpected proposals, and the inability to keep their hands off one another during family meals on the Kardashians. Passion was evident all the time. It was fueled by social media. Fans proclaimed them the most fascinating pair in Hollywood after tabloids featured their pictures on their covers. From the outside, it seemed like Kourtney had at last found a lover who loved her, nurtured her, and provided her the happily ever after she so well deserved. But truth was starting to show through the meticulously manicured messages and shiny photos. Good friendship makes a big difference. My life has been much enhanced by it. Since Travis's impulsiveness, which was first seen as endearing, gradually turned into the very thing that upset the equilibrium in their relationship, even if it was exciting in the beginning. Consider it. In only a few weeks after they fell in love, Travis was permanently committing to Kourtney by getting her name inked on his chest. He took her on unexpected excursions, smothered her with public love, and made impulsive, extravagant gestures. A lot of people thought that was the epitome of romanticism. However, the question was inevitable for Kourtney, who values consistency and authority. When desire gets out of control, what happens? Kourtney revealed something that followers had only discussed in whispers in the comment sections in one frank admission. Although Travis has a great heart, he may be too impetuous at times. In my hometown where I grew up, this marathon has unique meaning for the city. I really appreciate it. Simple but powerful. Those words changed the way the world saw their apparently ideal relationship. All of a sudden, this was more than simply a romantic tale. It served as a lesson on limits as well. Patience as well as the need of keeping things in balance when one partner is living life to the fullest. Kourtney has been the sibling who seemed to be the most uninterested in drama for years. The one who rolls her eyes during family disputes. When things became too poisonous, that person left the filming. But she couldn't just leave Travis alone. Every room was charged with his energy. He required continual care due to his passion. And even though his love was tremendous, there wasn't much time for hesitation. Something more complex was emerging from what had begun as a fairy tale. And supporters who had previously shown unwavering commitment to Travis were now left wondering whether his impetuosity was a sign of love or a warning sign that may jeopardize their future together. One thing is obvious. Nobody anticipated how messy, complex, and intriguing the reality of their relationship would be. Here, united. There was something far more subdued long before the passionate embraces, the Italian wedding bells, and Kourtney's story revealing Travis's impetuous nature. Friendship. Travis and Kourtney had resided in Calabasas, only a few streets away, for years. Their children knew one another. Their families often come into contact. Additionally, Travis was well known within the Kardashian-Jenner family. Travis was already well known, in contrast to Kourtney's previous partners who were often enticed into the Kardashian limelight for their own celebrity. A legendary drummer with a multi-decade career. We were only stating, yes, I need to learn how to play the drums properly from you. Right now, would you want to attempt learning something? Yes. Their celebrity did not enchant him. According to several sources, that's precisely what drew Kourtney in. Their relationship first seemed to be almost too innocent for Hollywood. They went to church, collectively. They took their children on family vacations. In the most commonplace ways, they helped one another out as neighbors. However, for years, something more profound had been simmering under the surface, as fans would eventually discover. Not until the beginning of 2021 did the rumors make news. Travis Barker is Kourtney Kardashian's partner, and it wasn't just a subtle disclosure in typical Kardashian manner. What? Hold on a minute. 1, 2, 3, and 4 would be the numbers. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done, sweetie. The PDA pictures started to appear on Instagram in a matter of days. Kourtney's thigh was securely held by Travis's hand, with a black heart emoji. Was a simple description for their first kiss photo. The quietest Kardashian in the world became louder than ever all of a sudden. Travis's impetuous temperament was evident right away in ways that were both exhilarating and overwhelming. His choice to get a tattoo of Kourtney on his chest only a few weeks after their relationship became public was one of the first actions that left admirers stunned. It was a sweeping proclamation of love to many. Would you mind demonstrating the little matcha station? This matcha station over here, where I have everything, is one of my favorite things. Cinnamon, I have nutmeg, I have cocoa. I can quickly reheat tea, you know? It was a warning message to others. There was no slowing down for this guy. Nevertheless, it must have been exhilarating to Kourtney. Travis's steadfast commitment looked to be the remedy she had been looking for after years of turmoil with Scott Dick. After many cycles of breakups, makeup, and public humiliation, this guy had no qualms about expressing his affection for her to the world, spontaneously, loudly, and with pride. Insiders near Thea Firestorm was how the pair described their early relationship. They were inseparable, traveling, blogging, and demonstrating their devotion all the time. They had an obsession with one another. According to one report, they seemed to be airless. All they needed was one another. However, while the start of their romance seemed enchanted, the intensity also suggested difficulties that would later come to light. Their hectic beginning left little time for introspection, equilibrium, or gradual development. Travis believed that love was about diving right in. For Kourtney, it was about feeling selected at last. And they forged a bond that would eventually upend not only their personal lives, but also the dynamics of the Kardashian family as a whole. Holding back has never been Travis Barker's style. The greatest matcha is really made by myself, far superior than any matcha establishment in Los Angeles. The Cha Matcha of Alfred. In fact, I have the greatest matcha. Yes, it is. He became well known for going all out, living loudly, and displaying his emotions throughout his time as Blink 182's heartbeat, literally in the shape of tattoos applied all over his body, including his sleeve. It was thus not surprising that his love was as intense when he fell for Kourtney Kardashian. However, what fans find romantic may sometimes seem overpowering in private. And his tattoo was the first major impetuous move that shocked the internet. The name of Kourtney flashed across his chest. Only weeks after going public, not even a year or even months into their relationship. It was the height of devotion for his supporters. It was the ultimate red flag for critics. If they split up, what would happen? On Twitter, people murmured. There was no hesitancy for Travis. For according to sources, Kourtney was both impressed and surprised by how quickly he moved. The extravagant public shows of adoration followed. Kravis never shied away from PDA, whether it was at a quiet restaurant, on the red carpet, or during a UFC bout. The constant kissing, the theatrical makeout sessions, and Kourtney sitting on Travis's lap were all captured on tape. They adopted it as their signature. Supporters were split. While some groaned and said it was too much, others applauded them as the sexiest pair on the planet. There were rumors that the PDA had gone too far, even among the Kardashians. In her often direct manner, Kim once rolled her eyes and said on camera, "We get it. You're in love." However, maybe their wedding marathon was the most impetuous action of all. Travis and Kourtney were married not once, twice, but 3 times in 2022. First, an Elvis lookalike conducted an impromptu ceremony in Vegas after the Grammys. Then, a wedding at a Santa Barbara courthouse. And lastly, Dolce & Gabbana's extravagant Italian party with Gothic influences served as the grand finale. Every wedding looked more extravagant and audacious than the one before it. Additionally, some insiders murmured that it was all too much, too quickly. even if fans like the show. Travis's fans like the show. Travis's tendency to act impulsively is evident even in daily situations. He has a history of planning last-minute vacations, surprise Kourtney with unplanned international getaways. Sometimes he showers her with lavish presents for no apparent reason at the most inconvenient times. He shocks her on social media with vows of love. Fans compare it to a contemporary fairy tale. Kourtney, a lady who originally based her business on balance, organic living, and simplicity, has found it difficult to handle the fast-paced environment. And her sisters have also observed this. According to those close to the Kardashians, Kim and Khloe in particular are surprised at how things with Travis get out of hand very fast. They question if Kourtney is really at ease with this or whether she is just being carried away by his current. Kourtney herself revealed her actual thoughts to her admirers behind closed doors. She openly said in a Kardashians episode that Travis has a big heart, but sometimes he acts before, thinking it may be difficult to process a rare moment of top candor that stripped away the shiny exterior Instagram filter and depicted what it's like to live with someone who is impulsive. Once seeming to be pure romanticism, the impetuosity has become a double-edged blade. On the one hand, it gave Kourtney a sense of affection she had never known before. On the other hand, it put her control, patience, and even her relationship with her family to the test. If one thing is certain, the Kardashians are the best at transforming family life into a worldwide source of entertainment. The romance between Kourtney and Travis, however, turned into something more combustible than stage drama. Even for seasoned viewers of reality TV, it turned into a genuine rift that ran across the family. Kim Kardashian was the most outspoken about her skepticism from the start. For Kim, everything revolves around business strategy, image, and timing. She found it incomprehensible that her sister, who had previously taken pleasure in her solitude and self-control, had suddenly become the PDA queen. Kim first dismissed it with caustic remarks and eye rolls. Her irritation quickly escalated into something more significant. However, the Dolce & Gabbana quarrel was the main source of contention. In May 2022, few months after Kourtney and Travis lavish, Kim collaborated with Dolce & Gabbana to create her own line after the fashion brand sponsored and designed her Italian wedding. Kourtney saw it as a betrayal, a calculated effort to detract from her once-in-a-lifetime experience. One of the most brutal altercations the Kardashians had ever seen took place in front of the cameras. Kourtney yelled at Kim, her voice trembling, "You stole my wedding." Furiously. "It's not about you," Kim said. "It's business. Move on." There was more to the disagreement than clothing. It represented the sisters' deeper conflict. Kim's infatuation with branding consistently diminished Kourtney's sense of self and her happiness with Travis. Kim, on the other hand, thought Kourtney was being too dramatic, unable to see the wider picture because of Travis's anger. Even Khloe Kardashian, the perennial peacekeeper, acknowledged that the family was split, despite her best efforts to remain impartial. "It feels like we're all walking on eggshells," Khloe said in a candid interview, indicating that the problem wasn't just Dolce & Gabbana. The younger sisters, Kendall and Kylie Jenner, who frequently avoid getting involved in the Kardashian arguments, also expressed quiet support for Kourtney, but acknowledged that she didn't understand the situation. Travis had changed Kourtney, and she wasn't the same sister they'd known for years. She was in her own world, and sometimes it felt like there wasn't room for us anymore. Intensity, Kylie, on the other hand, was circumspect, supporting Kim for business purposes while still displaying love for Kourtney in private. Fans were astounded to see the family disintegrate on screen. This was no longer just TV drama. It was a family civil war. Hashtags such as #Team Kourtney and #Team Kim trended on TikTok and Twitter forth. Most telling moment of all may have been when Kourtney broke down on camera, crying as she said, "I feel like I'm happy, but my family can't stand it." Memes of their fights set to dramatic soundtracks flooded social media, with some fans calling Kourtney brave for standing up for her love and others siding with Kim, accusing Kourtney of being consumed by Travis. "Nobody seems to want me to just survive." The Kardashians have always been scrutinized by the public, But the tension between them exposed the actual cost of Travis's impetuous love, not just public scrutiny, but the entire basis of Kardashian sisterhood. It was the type of vulnerability that she seldom displayed that when the Dolce & Gabbana feud aired on the Kardashians, social media erupted, and Twitter, or X as it is now branded, became a battlefield. Kourtney and Kim felt different, driven by Travis Barker's impetuous presence. It wasn't just another tabloid headline, but a full-fledged pop culture showdown. Hashtags like #TeamTikTok turned into a center of parody and commentary, with creators reenacting the sisters' fight with exaggerated eye rolls and shrill voices, others comparing the Dolce feud to a Game of Thrones war for the throne, and videos of Kourtney and #Team Kim single quotes as on-screen shouting match, looping millions of times with dramatic sound effects and captions like "when your sister steals your spotlight." However, public opinion was divided, with Kourtney's supporters praising her for finally confronting Kim, viewing her as the sister who had always resisted. And the memes spread more quickly than the actual show episodes, demonstrating once again that Kardashian drama endures longer in the hands of fans than it does on television. Travis represented her rebellion against the family's fixation with celebrity and branding. One admirer said, "She's the only one who actually chose love over business." While another TikTok remark said, "Kourtney deserves happiness. If Travis is impetuous, it's at least when it comes to loving her rather than pursuing wealth." Kim's supporters, meanwhile, believed that Kourtney was unappreciative and crazy. They said that Kourtney was too enmeshed in her romantic life to contribute to the Kardashians' company, which was founded on Kim's shoulders. What? Kim created the brand and Kourtney just gripes. According to one widely shared Twitter, even celebrities subtly weighed in. Influencers, media figures, and designers started giving clues, though not directly involved in the feud. Fans couldn't help but bring Scott D6 into the discussion, and memes circulated that contrasted Travis's impetuous devotion to Scott's reckless immaturity, with captions like, "Some praised Kourtney and Travis's passion as refreshing, while others sided with Kim, calling her the true professional." From poisonous to inked, Kourtney really raised the bar. Reddit threads followed every sidelong look in family moments. Instagram fan accounts examined every aspect of Kravis PDA for hidden significance, and YouTube commentary channels scrutinized every episode as the news mill continued to spin. One thing was certain, though this wasn't simply Kardashian drama, and unlike staged reality TV fights of the past, this one felt raw, messy, and real. The Kardashian story has always been one of power, fame, and complicated sisterhood, but Kourtney's love with Travis Barker added a brand new layer. The world wasn't ready for it. Instead, it had become a fan-driven cultural spectacle, with millions picking sides and fanning the flames. Not only did his impetuous laugh all-or-nothing attitude alter Kourtney's life, but it also upset the equilibrium of the entire family. And all of a sudden, the meticulous facade that the Kardashians had spent years cultivating started to fall apart, from the Dolce & Gabbana scandal to the screaming matches on the Kardashians. Fans were given a unique opportunity to witness something genuine and unscripted. This wasn't merely stage drama for the audience. Kourtney's question was straightforward, but profound. Can she have both the intense whirlwind love with Travis and a united bond with her sisters? Or does one come at the expense of the other? Kim feels she's protecting the family brand. Cameras, this was real hurt. Jealousy and loyalty being tested. Kendall plays the quiet observer. Kourtney maintains that she is defending her happiness. Khloe tries to maintain harmony. Kylie manages her own empire while observing from the sidelines, and right in the center of it all is Travis, the man whose love language is extravagant gestures, tattoos, and spontaneity. He is the spark, the storm. He is the spark, the storm, and possibly even the wedge. The fact is, though, that you cannot turn your head away from them, whether you like them or not. Every kiss on the red carpet, I rolled during a confessional. An online feud keeps the Kardashian empire at the forefront of popular culture. And Travis, with all his impetuous actions, has ensured that the spotlight only gets brighter. What comes next? The cameras are rolling, the fans are watching, the gossip never stops. And now it's your turn. What do you think? Is Travis the love Kourtney always deserved? Or is he the reason the Kardashian sisterhood may never be the same again? Will the sisters manage to move past their differences? Or will Travis's crazy energy continue to drive Kourtney farther away from the family that made her famous? We want to hear your thoughts, opinions, and theories. So please jump into the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe to Hush Hush Fame, and share this video with your friends who are as obsessed with celebrity rumors as you are. If there's one thing we can guarantee, it's that you won't miss a single twist in this Hollywood drama. It's this: Kardashian world. The drama never ends, and we'll always be here to explain it to you. We appreciate you viewing Hush Hush. Notoriety. See you at the next one. *.